Hey, welcome to the live stream tonight. Today we're going to be doing a fall leaf tumbler where we are going to do some mica powders, swirl, and a peekaboo demo. So if you're new here, I go live every single week. Let me know if you're here and where you're watching from. and um, if you are on the replay, there are some timestamps. So if you want to skip to the parts that you are interested in, feel free to do that as well. Hello, Robin and Danielle. I'm so glad you're finally catching a live too. Hi, Charity and Brenda. Hello, Anne and Judy and Jessica, Wendy, Christina. It's so good to see you all tonight. Happy Monday. I'm glad that you were able to join me on the new day change. So at least for the next couple of weeks, we will be on Mondays, 7 o'clock Central. So we are going to do a fall peekaboo tumbler using the base as mica powder. So before we get into it, for those of you that are new to making tumblers, the idea for a peekaboo is that you are going to be using some sort of base. Usually it's glitter. I'm going to be doing like a mica swirl for that. But usually it would be like a glittered tumbler. And then you're going to put down some removable vinyl. And then you're going to put paint or something else on top. And then when you peel away that vinyl, you'll be able to see what's underneath. So I'm going to show you various steps of the process, like kind of on 3 different cups, because I want to give you like the full picture, but like because I can't do it all in one sitting, that's the way we're gonna do it. But hello, Yasmin and Keisha's here, and Cheryl is here from Australia. Well, I shouldn't say happy Monday since it's Tuesday out by you. Hi, Rosita from Tampa, and Kathy. Hi, Kim. Kim's watching using her bride tumbler that I made her. And Lisa's here from Tennessee, California. Kristen says she has binge watched all of my videos the past few days, and she is new to the Tumblr community. Welcome, Kristen. I'm so glad you are here. Alma is in LA. First time on a live. Well, I'm so glad you are here. So this tumbler has been prepped and base coated. I actually did a spray paint. This orange is a spray paint. You could kind of do this like similar style with a different color base paint. You'll see the orange and how it shows through in this situation, and you could use a different one. And I think the cool thing about this type of tumbler is that there's such a wide range of ways that you can make it unique. So if you do kind of take it and run, I would love to see what you come up with. So I am using 3 different Crystalac liquid micas. I think I've said this before, if you've been around for a while, I think these are like the most underrated Crystalac product. I'm going to use the copper, and I'm going to use the champagne, which is my personal favorite, and I'm going to use this rose, which are all very, very, very pretty. And then I'm using this one that's from the Glitter Pharmacy that's called SHIT, Hit the Fan. And it's like a really pretty brown. And I think it looks good in here. So if you have seen the image that was like the thumbnail image of this live, it was a picture of what I'm about to show you. So to use the liquid micas, or this is just a mica powder, I'm going to mix them into some Bright Tone. So I've got 4 cups that I'm going to use. If you can use like a condiment cup, like where you put like ketchup or whatever, like salad dressing that you would take to work or something, those have tops. So if you mix too much, you can keep it. But I don't have any right now, so we're going to go with these little Dixie cups. And I'm not putting much in here because I don't really need that much of each color. And I'm just using my Bright Tone. Mandy said she just did her first peekaboo. I will give you all of my knowledge in the next I don't know, 40 minutes. Hi, Jamie. Thanks, Kim. Says my nails look great. Got them done today. What else did I miss? Oh, Charity says her 4-year-old got a hold of her rose mica. That is unfortunate. Like, that is really sad. So sometimes you do need to combine them, just stir them up a little bit, and then you don't need very much. Like, you barely need any in your little bit of bright tone. So like I'm barely putting any in there, and you can stir it and you can see that it just kind of mixes really, really well. Hi, Lisette. Lots of New Yorkers, it looks like. If you're new here, I am from the great state of Illinois. I know you guys are jealous of that fact, but I like it here. Okay, the champagne, I'm going to stir it up, and I will say that, like, you got to make sure you tighten it, because you can recombine it, but if it doesn't close all the way, that's not good. But you can always, like, add in some bright tone or whatever to kind of loosen it up. Christina just ordered the copper. There is a link to these in the description of this video. I highly recommend. They are expensive. Like, if you go to buy them, they're kind of expensive, but they last like forever. Like, I really don't anticipate really like ever buying another one. I feel like I use this champagne one all the time, and I still haven't had to replace it. Like, a very little goes a long way. So that's the good news. I'm going to do, again, this is going to be kind of like a swirl cup, and then we're going to do a peekaboo with it. But I use these micas on like every Milky Way marble type tumbler that I do. I use the champagne and then the silver. I use those all the time. This was my first time using the rose ever, when I made this cup a couple days ago. And I am pleasantly surprised with how pretty it is. But I do think that they are so worth it, and a little bit goes a long way. So, and then this is that brown, and this is a powder. So you don't need much powder either. I'm just kind of putting a little bit on the end of my popsicle stick. And then I'll need to spend a little bit more time mixing in this one, because it's a powder. It does take a little bit to, dissolve and just be fully combined. So this is a brown, but it's also kind of like reddish, a reddish brown. You can kind of see it on the sides. So let me know in the chat if you have. A lot of you are saying you do have the liquid micas, but I'm wondering if you have other mica powders, like in your stash, if you have any mica powders, or if you've done like a swirl type cup. I would love to know. Okay, so I've got 4 colors over here. I'm going to move them real fast. I am gonna grab some baby wipes to wipe my hands in a minute. And the first thing I do when I do a swirl or a Milky Way or anything like that is start with some bright tone. So I'm going to take my bright tone and just put it on the cup. Mary's first time watching from Utah. I am glad you are here, Mary. We are adding bright tone to the tumbler. You don't need much. You just want like a thin coat, because we're about to put more on. So we don't want a whole lot. Just enough to cover the tumbler. Judy says she has done an orange swirl cup with the champagne gold. Ooh, that does sound really pretty. Lots of people have mica powders. Christina watched my coffee swirl live stream with the crystalline pigments. I am glad that it helped. I love that one. I kind of want to make another one. Yeah, I love the liquid micas, but the mica powders work too. And I have a lot of those, so I try to use both. So all I'm going to do now is take my colors and randomly sort of put them on my tumbler. Okay. And they're not going to move that much on their own. But that's okay. We're going to help in a minute. So that's the rose. I'm going to go in with the champagne. And this is just totally random. Like what comes next is like your guess is as good as mine. Okay, and then I'm going to go in with this brown. And then we've got copper. Which, honestly, so pretty. Again, random. I literally am just making this up as I go. Okay? So then, they're not going to move that much. So I am going to take this straw and kind of help them combine just a little bit. Because I don't want them to be like perfect lines. I do kind of want them to run into each other. Now, I will say, let me zoom in, that I chose this orange on purpose. Because I knew that it was going to show through a little bit. I am going to add a little bit more of this brown. And somebody asked where the brown is from. It is from the Glitter Pharmacy. But I chose the brown because I knew that there would be places that it showed through. And I knew that, like, I liked brown with these colors. But you could choose a different color as your base. Like if you wanted to do, like, a maroon would be really pretty. Or even like a beige or something would be pretty. So there's like a ton of options. For what you can do. Okay, let me look at these. Roberta asked, do I need gloves? I do not need gloves because I am using Crystalac Bright Tone, which is completely non-toxic and non-hazardous. So that is why I can sit here without a mask, without gloves, because I use that. Okay, so I think that for this, because I like the amount of orange that is showing through, this is where I stop. If you wanted to cover up your base like you could, you just have to sort of get used to how much you need. Now, I have a lot of tutorials doing swirls and Milky Ways and stuff, so I highly recommend watching those, but one thing I can recommend is that you want to let this spin longer than what you would a normal coat, because I have a lot of bright tone on here right now, and hold on, I do want to add just a little bit right there. It's gonna take longer to dry, so it's not gonna combine a whole lot more. It's gonna look a little bit different, but like it won't combine too much. But I will let this dry, spin for several hours. I actually will probably let this spin overnight. But you really don't need to do that. You could probably let it spin for just a few hours, and then I would let it dry at least overnight before you put anything on top. So normally with bright tone, it just needs to spin for an hour, and then you can let it dry for 4 hours, then you can recoat it. But when you're doing swirls and Milky Ways and stuff, you want to let it dry at least overnight. So let it spin for a couple of hours, and then at least until it's dry to the touch, and then let it dry overnight before you do anything else. So do you guys have any questions on the swirling process? Because that's it. And I'm just going to let it dry. So I'm going to move it over here, and we're going to actually move on to a different cup so I can show you what would come next. Okay? Let me know in the chat if you have any questions. So this is just a completely different tumbler that I'm going to do a similar peekaboo design with. So I can show you kind of the evolution of this tumbler. Okay, so when you do a peekaboo, you want to use removable vinyl. So this is StarCraft removable, but any brand will work because we are going to pull it up eventually. And you're going to put down your decals, and you can do it anytime your surface is smooth. So you'll notice this is kind of dull because I have just sanded it, and I'm going to put it on a smooth surface. You really need to make sure that it is super, super smooth, because once you paint on it, it will show, like any imperfections will show through. So you just want to make sure that you are getting a completely smooth surface before you move on to adding any decals. Do you have videos about using alcohol inks? I do, and this week, Thursday, I actually have another one coming out, and it's going to go through a few popular techniques that you could use. But to prep, you're just going to prep it like any other cup, like sand it and prep it the same way. And then you're going to use, I like to base coat it with spray paint. When I'm doing alcohol inks, I think that spray paint works well with alcohol inks as a base coat. Okay, wait, I take this back. So I'm just putting these on randomly, but I am going to move this one because I am actually going to put like a decal right here. So I'm just going to move it over. Oh, I'm having trouble. Well, we're just going to leave it. So you would just put your vinyl on as much as you want. I don't have any more. Oh, I've got one more piece, but I would probably do a couple more because I'm going to paint over this, and the only places where I'll be able to see glitter is where I currently see vinyl, right? Because I'm going to peel that up. So normally, once you get your surface smooth, you can add your vinyl, and then you will paint on top. You can choose if you're going to do like crystal-like paints or spray paint. Either one is totally fine. If you're going to use the crystal-like paints, which is what I did on this one, it has one coat of paint. You can see the vinyl. You should do a coat of bright tone first. So put your decals on, do a coat of bright tone, let it dry for 4 hours, and then move on with whatever paint you're going to use, because it can bleed a little bit, and if you want those nice sharp edges, it helps to have a coat of bright tone first, and then you can paint. So this has one coat of paint on it, and I'm actually going to put glitter on this. So underneath this paint, it looks just like the cup that we just did. That's what's under here. And I am going to actually do glitter on the top part. I think that's one of the cool things about like peekaboo tumblers. A lot of people will do glitter, then vinyl, then paint, and then take away the vinyl. But you can do paint and then vinyl, then glitter. Like there's so many options. So I'm going to be using this Stardust glitter over this base coat is the Rosy Beige Flippin' Awesome paints. So I'm just going to move these out of the way. Let me know if you guys have any questions so far. But basically, you're going to do whatever you want on your base. Like this one, I'm doing the micas. I'm going to let that dry. And then if you were to do glitter, you want to make sure you have a completely smooth surface. And then you can add your vinyl, do a coat of bright tone, and then add your paints. If you're going to use spray paint, you don't need that coat of bright tone. I don't find that it bleeds in because it's like more of a mist, you know what I mean? So if you're just going to do spray paint on top, you could skip that kind of sealing coat of bright tone. So I'm actually going to do another coat of this Rosy Beige and add my glitter right to the wet paint. Just because this was kind of a dark base, and then the Rosy Beige just takes a couple of coats. So I'm just going to shake it up. Let me know in the chat if you have the cup this cup right here underneath this paint looks like this. And I'll show you in it looks just like this, and then I put vinyl on it, and then I painted it. So I'll show you. But I am going to do glitter on this top layer because I think it'll look good. And I'm like really obsessed with this beige and kind of like silvery glitter combination. I'm really obsessed right now. So let me get my paint on. I'm going to add, if I have enough, hopefully. Questionable. And then I'm going to add my glitter right to this wet paint, and then I'll pull up some of the vinyl so you can see. But I think I might be out of this paint, which is not cool. That's not good. Hopefully I can scrounge up enough to finish this cup. The thing about the new Crystalite brushes, it's going to sound silly, but when I'm doing my live stream, I usually put my paintbrush in my mouth to hold it, and it doesn't work for that. So it's kind of disappointing. Okay, so I've got the Flippin' Awesome paint on, and I'm just going to sprinkle my glitter while it's wet. The tumbler arm is from Amazon. It's linked on my Amazon store. That is linked in the description of this video, if you would like to check it out. See, I'm obsessed with this combination, although it is a little tough to see where my vinyl is. So cool, cool, cool. Okay, what's the best way to apply the Flippin' Awesome paints? I really like the new Crystal-Lac brushes for them. Or the Wet n Wild blush brush that you can get at the Dollar Tree. Yeah, so I've got, this is like a white, I use two different kind of inserts, but they're both on my Amazon page. Okay. I'm having a really hard time seeing my vinyl. So we're going to hope for the best. I didn't think this through. Okay, I see some right here. So I'm using, okay, normally I would let this dry completely before I peeled up my vinyl. Okay, normally I would let it dry fully before I went to peel up my vinyl, because if I kind of nick any of the glitter, that's not good. But because we're here on this live stream, I will do it for you. This glitter, okay, I just found one, is called Stardust. Stardust from the Glitter Heart Company. Glitter Heart Co. Over Rosy Beige. Flippin' Awesome. Okay, so I have a piece of vinyl right here, and we're gonna hope for the best. So then I can show you kind of the evolution of this cup. But it's easier to wait because now I have to just be like extra careful that I don't take off any glitter that I don't want to come off. You know what I mean? So now, like, that's what it's going to look like. I'm going to pull, I have several pieces of vinyl that I am going to peel up, but I have to find it first. Okay, so I have to find it, and one thing you can do, you think a flashlight will help? Let's see. Hold on. First thing I need to do is clean up this glitter. So give me 1 second, and then we'll see if that works. But another thing, another thing you can do is use little, like, put hot glue on it. So if you wanted to put just like a little drop of hot glue on each piece of vinyl, it'll create a bump, and you'll be able to see where your vinyl pieces are. Normally, though, like, I don't usually do glitter on top of my peekaboos. Like, I normally do it, like, glitter on the bottom. So if you're just painting on top, it's a lot easier to find the vinyl. But when you're doing, now I have a coat of Bright Tone, 2 coats of paint, and a coat of glitter, I cannot see it anymore. You know what I mean? So, but if you put glitter first, then vinyl, and then paint, you would be able to see it. So if you're going to do glitter as a top layer, I would recommend doing just the little hot glue pieces. Okay, let's see if I can find one more. Let's see if I can find one more. Oh, wait, we were going to try a flashlight. Let's see if that helps. My phone's kind of broken, so I don't know that I can even do it, but... I feel like this... the light's not even helping me. So that's kind of a bummer. Okay, I found one. Right here. And then the other thing that could help too is, like, once this is dry, so normally, like I said, I would wait till this was fully dry, And I would actually dry brush the glitter, so it would probably be a little bit easier. But again, the hot glue will help. So there's another one. So I'm going to pull up all of the pieces of vinyl that I have when I can find them. And each one will have a nice little piece of the swirl that we did. I don't think I can find another one until I try to dry brush this. Oh, this is definitely a piece of something. Okay, last one. Last one that I'm going to do. So do you guys have any questions about this method? My best tips for you are to, one, do a coat of bright tone before you paint, so you don't get any bleeding underneath your vinyl. My other tip is make sure that it is super, super smooth before you put any paint on top of your peekaboo. If you don't have a completely smooth surface, any of the bumps, or here's another one. This is another one I'm working on right now. So this has glitter, and then I added my decal, and then I spray painted, and then I took off the vinyl. But there are a couple spots, especially on the bottom. You can see that, right? Like, you can see that it wasn't completely smooth. So you just have to be extra careful. I did okay. I did pretty good, but the bottom is not the best. But it's fine. So this is what one looks like with a glitter base, and then I pulled up the vinyl after I did some painting. And then this is kind of like the opposite, right? Glitter on top. This is I think it's called a pin pen. You can get it on Amazon. I think I have this one linked, but it's just a weeding pen. It has a little it has like a little pin at the end. It's like a mechanical pencil with a pin on it in it, is basically what it is. Okay, do you guys have any questions? Okay, yeah, 143 Vinyl probably has it. I think I got this one on Amazon. I think some other people are starting to sell some of that stuff as well. But yeah, pin pen. It's what I use to weed my vinyl as well. I found another one. All right, let me know if you guys have any questions. If you are not, make sure you're subscribed. Thursday's video is going to be a pretty cool one with some alcohol ink techniques. Make sure that, oh no. See, I just ruined it. So I just ruined it. But that's okay. Best to let it dry completely before you pull up your vinyl. Because I just ruined it. But that's okay. That's fine. Stardust, I don't actually think it's a cheat glitter. I do think there is a little bit of silver in this, but it definitely, I think it's silver, just like a light silver with white, so it does pick up some of the some of that base color. Okay, so Thursdays my videos go live at 5 p.m. Central, I think. But as long as you are subscribed, you can get notifications. The leaves are from Creative Fabrica. I have a link to them in the description of the video. I download pretty much everything from there whenever possible. All right, make sure that if you are not yet, make sure you're on my email list. I've got an email going out tomorrow, and you'll get, the first to get some updates. Make sure you connect with me on Instagram. I would love to see anything you come up with. If you do any leaf peekaboos, if you do any swirls, if you kind of change up the color combinations, I would love to see what you come up with. And Judy asked, what is a cheat glitter? A cheat glitter is just like an opal glitter that's kind of see-through. So it's sparkly, but will pick up the base paint as well. So you could put, like, this one is actually a cheat glitter over a purple base. I have a tutorial on that. It's a opal, rainbow opal. It was a live stream. You can kind of see what that looks like. Is glitter glue the best to put on glitter, or just a glue that has glitter? Karen, the glitter glue is a glue, and it looks like this. And it works really well to apply glitter as well as sealing your glitter. Crystal, thank you so much. You're so sweet. Mandy did a Saints peekaboo. That sounds awesome. Crystal, the tumbler holder is... Actually, I ordered this directly from the supplier because it's part of my new tumbler kits that are coming out next month, but you can get similar ones on Amazon. Jamie, thank you, thank you, thank you. Hopefully you guys have a better feel for peekaboos. If you guys need any help, don't hesitate to reach out on Instagram, and make sure you're following there so I can show you the finished cup when it gets finished, which hopefully won't be too long. I hope you all have a wonderful week, and I will see you back here next Monday. And I think we're going to do maybe a pen tutorial. I haven't fully decided yet, but maybe a new glitter pen or some sort of pen. We haven't done a pen in a while. It's been a while. So hopefully I will see you next week, and I'll see you around.